Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live. Non-tender deadline. Let's do it. Oh, my goodness. Friday, November 21st, non-tender deadline has come and gone. Rangers getting rid of some big names today. They non-tender a number of players, 3 to be exact, from the 2023 World Series championship team. Shout out to them. Always going to be remembered for that. But Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, and Josh Sborz, all non-tendered today, not offered contracts. And so, we've got some more room on the 40-man roster, and we are going to break down everything possible here. We're going to talk about what all this means, where the Rangers go from here. We're going to take your comments and questions along the way. Appreciative of all you guys hanging out and choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. I got to be honest with you. I think that today is a day to celebrate Adolis Garcia, to celebrate Jonah Heim, but it's a bittersweet day. It's a day where you think about all that was good in 2023, but it's a day that you're reminded of the failures of the Rangers franchise and organization over the last 2 seasons. And we're going to talk about that too. We're going to try and do a blended mix today. I'm going to start with the bad, and we're going to end in celebration. We are going to end celebrating these players that helped bring Texas their first World Series championship. What's good, everybody? Brian, thanks for hanging out. Jace, Adolis is gone. We're going to talk about it here in a second, man. Albert, good evening. Yeah, no more Astro Killer and Adolis. It's unfortunate. Look, I said we're going to start with the bad stuff. I'm going to get you guys into all of the highlights and everything that we should remember about these players by the end of the show today. But I think that we have to go back to July 30th, or July 31st, excuse me. July 31st trade deadline. The Rangers had an opportunity to trade Adolis Garcia. They had an opportunity to trade a number of players, and they decided not to. And I think that a lot of people try to give passes to front offices in general when things don't work out as planned, when a GM goes after it, becomes a buyer at the deadline, and things just don't fall into place. And I'm sure that there's a faction of Rangers fans that are going to give CY a complete pass on some of the things that have transpired over the past season, over the past 2 seasons. I would submit that that's not the right angle here. I think Chris Young should be on the hot seat going into 2026. I think you've seen 2 seasons of failure. 2 seasons of the Rangers not making the playoffs. CY is always going to be beloved for 2023. Don't get me wrong. But the reality is, beyond re-signing Nathan Eovaldi, what's been notable over the past 2 seasons when you think about front office moves? The Evo signing was phenomenal. You brought in Jock Peterson for $18.5 million a year. That's largely been a failure thus far. Jake Berger, great guy, incredible human being. That trade has not worked out either. There are some bright spots. CY has done a great job getting value out of bullpen pieces that nobody really had on their radar. But how can you not look at the 2025 trade deadline where we sold 3 top prospects for a player that had some nice moments as a Ranger, but did not help the Rangers get to a World Series championship, let alone the postseason, and then also decided to hold guys like Adolis Garcia. I don't know how big the market would have been for Jonah Heim, but you could have traded a number of players at the deadline. You decided to buy. How does that not reflect? And if you're a Rangers fan, how do you not look at that as a failure of the front office? Look, everybody from Jeff Passan to Buster Olney had Adolis being traded at the deadline. And there were suitors. I understand that in the offseason, Natalie, I know that you just commented there might not have been a trade partner. Absolutely, there wasn't a trade partner in the offseason. There's no denying that. But there were trade partners at the deadline. And you decided to hold on. and you miss the playoffs again. Part of being a good GM is foresight. Part of being a good scout is foresight. You have to be able to be good at understanding how things are likely to unfold in the future, and you cannot be given a free pass because things didn't work out the way we thought they would. That's part of your job. You have to have a good understanding of that. It has not worked out. And I don't know how any Rangers fan is okay with the job that the front office has done the past 2 years. Do they have some bones that we can throw to them? Yes. I've already thrown a couple of them out there. Great job with the bullpen pieces. Kirby Yates, David Robertson, Hobie Milner, Robert Garcia, even though I know he is a hot button issue among a lot of Rangers fans. Garcia had a sub-3 ERA. I mean, there's been some bright spots. But to get nothing for Adolis Garcia, to get nothing when you could have traded him for prospects and pocketed the $12 million at the deadline in July, that's a failure. That is a failure. You've already gutted your farm to go get Merrill Kelly, who you're most likely not re-signing. You don't sell Adolis. You don't sell a number of other players that you probably could have tried to trade away that were on expiring contracts. You could have traded a Hobie Milner, who was having a great year at the trade deadline. CY, I think, has to have a good year this year. And so I'm very curious to see what transpires in this offseason. I cannot imagine a third year of missing the playoffs is going to go over great, but maybe Ray Davis is just totally cool with whatever goes down over the next several seasons. We know that GMs do usually get a rebuild. Maybe CY is going to be a part of that. But I have no clue how you could sit back 2 years of losing, of missing the playoffs, and be cool with what the front office has put together. It's been bad. It has been bad. And we need to see better in 2026. And look, you've already got moves being made around the AL West. You've got trades being made. You've got guys being signed. Josh Naylor just signed to a pretty nice contract in Seattle. You got Taylor Ward, Grayson Rodriguez trade going on with the Angels and Orioles. I'm curious to see what moves may await us. But I cannot say that I'm very pleased with what has transpired. Losing Adolis Garcia for nothing. Not okay. Should have dealt him at the deadline. And we've said that consistently. I know that my guys who have been with me and ladies that have been with me for multiple years, I know you can vouch. This isn't a hindsight is 2020 here at Right on Rangers. We said you got to trade Adolis. Even if they would have traded Adolis in July, you could have still potentially made the playoffs. I remember making that point to you in late July, right before the deadline. You could have, I think, potentially still made the playoffs and traded Adolis. That, to me, is the biggest factor and why I feel the way that I feel. You overvalued Adolis Garcia like he was going to be the guy that took you to the was going to take you to the promised land. And really, I think you could have probably made playoffs without him. I hope that this offseason is better than what we've seen so far over the last 2 years. And honestly, this year with the payroll getting cut again, I have my doubts. I'll just say that. I hope it's better than what I think it's going to be. And you guys know I'm glass half full. We're going to continue to throw as much as we can your way, moves we think the Rangers should make. But I am a little skeptical right now how this offseason is going to go. All right. Opening rant done. We've got a great show ahead of you, and we are going to take your comments, take your questions, and we're going to celebrate. We got the World Series 2023 hoodie on. We got the World Championship hat on right now. The gold, bringing it out tonight. We got to celebrate. Adolis Garcia, one of the most legendary Rangers in Rangers history. Legendary Rangers. We can't forget that. And I will always look back fondly on Dolly, regardless of what the last 2 years have been. I know you will too. All right, let's get comments. So I see some of you guys starting to throw out potential replacements. Natalie, I'm with you on this one, by the way. The comment, I know some of you guys on TikTok can't see it. Yeah, CY does seem to be beloved by Ray Davis. And look, we're not saying that CY sucks. He's terrible. My comment is he's got to be on the hot seat. How are you not on the hot seat after back-to-back trade deadlines? Remember, in 2024, CY at the deadline bought, and we missed the playoffs then too. Remember when we went out and got Carson Kelly and Big Country? And some of y'all like to remind me, some of the guys we traded away in 2024 have made good contributions in the major leagues. So back-to-back trade deadlines for CY. You've bought. You've decided we're going to be buyers. We're going all in to make the playoffs. And you don't even make it to October? You don't even make the last wild card spot? Natalie, you might be onto something. Brian, you bring up a good point. Do any of you remember another comment on YouTube here? We're going to get TikTok comments, so don't you guys worry. If I miss something, please forgive me. I'm not trying to duck you. It's just that we've got a number of different people throwing comments our way across a couple of different apps. And so hang with us. We're going to get to everything eventually. Feel free to copy and paste and comment again. We'll definitely make sure we get to it. But the comment is, do you remember that Adolis Garcia, when he was reinserted into the lineup during the course of that 20-game hot streak, remember the Rangers went 16-4 with the Little Rascals? Or the Round Rock Express, or actually, what was it? The Frisco Express? What did we come up with that I kind of liked? I liked it. Anyways, it was that run that Adolis gets reinserted back in the lineup in New York City, and instantly the Rangers go downhill. I mean, look, Brian, I said we're going to celebrate the guy, and we are going to, but it's unfortunate that our downfall coincided with Adolis getting put back into the lineup late in the year. Look, we love Dolly. We're going to try and keep things light with Adolis. We got to celebrate some of his big performances, man. And I've already got a few that I'm going to throw your guys' way. Let's do some nostalgic remembering here. Ethan, yes, sir. CLS, let's go Rangers, baby. Thanks for tuning in. Ethan, I'm okay with the Webb non-tender. I know that some people were actually throwing out. Justin, appreciate the gift, by the way. Coop, if you're still hanging out, appreciate the gifts. Some people are throwing out Jacob Webb actually has pretty good numbers when you look at the advanced stats. And I'll actually do that right now for you guys. Jacob Webb, another guy along with Adolis Garcia and Jonah Heim that was non-tendered. Let's look up the baseball savant numbers here. I do remember seeing a bit of red. And for those of y'all that aren't into the advanced stats, when you see red on the Baseball Savant page, it's good stuff. Look, there's a lot of red. Pitching run value, 73rd percentile. Expected ERA, 86th percentile. Look, average exit velocity, he was in the 95th percentile, meaning a lot of soft contact. I'm a little interested in look, I would love to hear from CY why they are letting Jacob Webb go. I think there are a number of positives to point to. That being said, eye test. Throw out the advanced stats. Let's just go eye test. Jacob Webb didn't feel like a shutdown guy, did he? Yeah, you tell me. Jacob Webb did not feel like a shutdown guy to me. That being said, numbers, they don't lie all the time. And I do think you got to look at some of the numbers for Jacob Webb and say it probably wasn't as bad as what we thought in our minds for those of us that maybe had that barf bag ready to go when Jacob Webb took the mound. But I would be curious to see what CY's reasoning is for letting Webb go. It does save some money, but the numbers do look pretty good. They do. I think JT's on the way. Hey, Jero, appreciate that, by the way. Possibly, JT Real Muto, I'm assuming you're talking about JT Real Muto, Gerald. And by the way, brother, I appreciate all your support of the channel, man. You've been with since 23? Let's go. 2023, January 2023, we started the channel. Appreciate all y'all OGs that have been around forever. Thank you. Yeah, I would love JT Real Muto. And look, just considering CY and what he likes and what his tendencies are, tends to prioritize pitching, being a former pitcher. Get that. You got to have good catching. Now that you've got Jonah Heim moving on, you do wonder, is getting a legit catching option going to be a priority? We'll see. We'll see. Let me keep rolling here. Love Dolly too, but like you said, the FO just choose to hang on too long. That is exactly what happened. You know, think about the stock market. I know we got some probably financial people in the chat. I know we've got some people that are wiser about money matters than I probably am, but there is such a thing as missing your opportunity, right? In life, in the stock market, and in baseball. I love that gift, by the way, Coop. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate it. Y'all are too generous with your words and with the comments and gifts. I appreciate you guys a lot. There's such thing as missing your opportunity. There is such thing as not maximizing value. Losing Adolis Garcia for nothing, I get it. You can tell me about the $12 million all day long, and I'll come right back at you with, we could have gotten prospects plus $12 million. Would they have been top prospects? No. We're not sitting here saying that we would have gotten a top 5 from somebody, but I think you could have gotten a top 15 prospect from someone, and that's better than nothing. That's better than letting him walk and then, patting yourself on the back because he saved $12 million. Come on now, let's not rewrite this. You could have traded Adolis Garcia at the deadline, gotten a prospect, and then pocketed the $12 million. Hey, appreciate that, Jace. Thanks for the sub, man. Super kind of you. Thank you so much. I could not agree more, brother. We have got to go out and get a top free agent. Now, are we going to get Kyle Tucker? I see a couple of y'all talking about Kyle Tucker. Are we going to get Tuck? I don't think we should hold our breath on that one. But JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber, could we be in the mix for players like that? I hope so. I really do hope so. Luis Arise, I know, is another one a bunch of y'all are talking about. Luis Arise, I like as a player. I don't want to overpay for a guy like Luis Arise, though. You're basically getting a slap singles hitter that doesn't strike out. Defense is mid. I know some people have even said the defense might be a little below mid. I don't want to pay big bucks for Luis Arise. I wouldn't mind a player like that, though. Huskies don't want to totally eliminate the Bregman potential, but a lot of people do believe Bregman is going to go back and return to the Red Sox. We'll see what happens. Schwarber would be huge. Schwarber would absolutely be huge. All right, let's keep on rolling. Let me get to TikTok a little bit here. What are you guys talking about here? We need pesky hitters, guys who are tough at bats. Esteban, that would be Luis Arise. If you like the pesky ABs, that would definitely be Luis Arise. You want a guy that can put the ball in play, that is a guy that can do that. And Ethan has pointed out multiple times, Luis Arise, Skip Schumacher, Miami connection. I could definitely see Luis Arise signing with Texas. I just don't want to see an overpay. Luis Arise, the WAR, and I know some of y'all are not WAR truthers, but I take everything with a grain of salt. The WAR being so low for Luis Arise does make me raise my eyebrows a little bit. And again, if you're going to spend 20 to 25 mil on Luis Arise, I would probably pass on something like that. Maybe he can get that, but I don't know if you want to pay more than what you paid for Jock Peterson to get Luis Arise. That would not be my preference. Would not be my preference at all. By the way, Cripple King, I don't think Webb was around in the 2023 season. I'm looking at Baseball Ref right now. He pitched for LA and Baltimore. Remember, that was kind of the thing is Webb. I see what you did there, dude. Long day at work. Cripple King, Long day at work. He did contribute to the 2023 season. He pitched against us, and I think we lit him up a little bit, didn't we? Was Webb the Garver Grand Slam guy? Was Jacob Webb the Garver Grand Slam? Cripple King, let me know about that. Hey, you know what? It's hard through text sometimes. Like I said, I just got off work. It's been a long day. Did Jacob Webb give up the Garver home run in the 2023 ALDS? Was that it? Let me know. Yeah, he was. Coop, yeah. All right. So, yes, he did contribute. I read that one a little too quick. He did contribute to our 2023 championship after all. Cripple King, that's awesome, man. It took me a second, brother, but I got it. T-Bone, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Having a good Friday night so far. Can't complain. Weekend's always good. MLB Rumors has him signing with Texas, $224. Yeah, I think he's going to get 15. Ethan, I just don't want to see 20. I don't want to see a rise for $20 million a year. I could stomach 15. If we can get him for 2 years, 24, that would be friggin' sweet. I would do that deal for sure. 100%. Absolutely. Arise as leadoff DH. I mean, look, the defense is a little suspect, so maybe DH is the way, but I think they're going to play him in the field, man. Don't you think Jock is going to get that opportunity to DH? I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but oof. All right. Let me see. Gary, my guy, good to see you, brother. What would I have to trade to get Rushing from the Dodgers? They already have Smith. Gary, I think they're going to be really careful with who they trade, and this is a good thing for us to talk about on the offseason show. Do you really want to gut the farm system more? Even if you are going out and getting a really good player, I mean, it just depends on your philosophy. If the Rangers are in win now mode, maybe you do say, yes, we could deal some prospects and continue to get better at the major league level. The Rangers, the Rangers farm system is not in a great place right now, according to some of the major outlets, Baseball America being one of them. I am a Baseball America fan. I know some of y'all have kind of clapped back a little bit, like, you can't always believe what some of those ratings are. I mean, I get you. I hear you. But I don't think these guys know nothing. And I think when you look at the Rangers and their prospects up at the top of the organization, look, I'm a fan, so I like those guys and I've enjoyed following them. And so it's hard to say these things out loud without seeming like you're throwing shade. But when you've got only one prospect in the top 100, I feel like you can only go with the they just don't know mantra for so long. And I think the Rangers have to be careful if they're going to trade for somebody using prospect capital. It's got to be a controllable player, not a rental. And it's got to be someone who is a sure shot. Has to be a sure shot. You cannot deal a Walcott. You cannot deal more top prospects and not get a guy that's going to come in and produce for you. Can't happen. Would I rather try to pursue a top catcher or top right fielder? Catcher. Cowboy slime ball catcher for sure. Catchers are very important. You've got to have a guy that can control the staff well. It's been such a black hole. It's easier, in my opinion, to find a good outfielder than it is to find a good catcher. Agree? Maybe you disagree. That's my opinion. I'm a GM. It's much harder to find a really good catcher than it is to find a good outfielder. I mean, just do the simple math. There's 3 outfield positions. There's 1 catching position. I mean, that's at most basic level. But I think most people would agree. It's a lot easier to find a good right fielder than it is to find a catcher that is going to contribute behind the dish, behind the plate, calling the game, defending the position, but then also hitting. And JT Realmuto is a guy that checks a lot of those boxes. I know he's older. We're not talking about giving JT a 5-year, 6-year deal. But I think you could go out and get JT Realmuto on a 3 or 4 year contract and feel pretty good about it. I think he is going to give you an instant boost over what we got from Heim over the last couple of seasons. And T-Bone, I know you don't want to see JT Realmuto leave. Maybe you do. This would actually be a good place for you to chime in, my guy. I'm a big JT Realmuto fan. I would love to see CY go out and get him. Coastal Sunset, appreciate you. I do think that pitching is going to be prioritized. I think he is going to go out and get one of the, I don't want to say front line. I think he is going to go and get one of the top tier free agent starting pitchers. I do think CY goes out. Maybe he re-signs Tyler Mahle. I think that makes the most sense if we're being honest, going out and re-signing Mahle. I think that would be formidable. If you can keep Mahle healthy, who says no to a 1-2-3 punch of Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, and Tyler Mahle? That's a really good 1-2-3 going into October. And I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but shoot, I'm already starting to speak this stuff into existence right now, y'all. October. Come on. 2 years. It's been too long. But I like Jacob deGrom, Evo, Mahle, 1-2-3. Throw Jack Leiter in there. Maybe Jack steps up and he overtakes Mahle as your number 3 guy. That would be phenomenal. And then you've got a number 4 in Tyler Mahle. I think you got to go out and get one guy. I don't think they're going to go out and get Fromber. I know we talked about Fromber on Wednesday. My bet would be no on Fromber, but I sure hope we can keep Tyler Mahle from going back home to California. I know a bunch of y'all have mentioned maybe Angels reuniting with Mike Maddox, and of course, Tyler Mahle from Newport. So makes sense. I mean, nobody would be shocked, but I would really like to see them go out and re-sign him. I think he's a great pitcher. Yeah, T-Bone, I'm with you here, man. Finding a good everyday catcher, it is one of the hardest positions to fill. It really is. I figured you wouldn't want to see him leave either, brother. I absolutely figured that for sure. Oh, yeah, man. By the way, appreciate these kind words, man, but we are here every Wednesday, and then anytime something big happens in the offseason, Cooper, you're too generous, man. Thank you so much for the gifts. Appreciate you, man. We're getting that gift library growing each day. Every time we go live, man. Just stacking that trophy case. Thank you, brother. Look, every Wednesday is our off-season show. By the way, if you just followed, every Wednesday we talk Rangers, but it's a Friday today, non-tender deadline. You know, I don't go live for every single notable thing that happens in the offseason, but when you lose a franchise legend like Adolis Garcia, you got to go live. You got to go live and talk about it. Rangers make a big trade. Rangers make a big free agent acquisition. We're probably going live within reason. I wish this was my day job. That'd be fun. I do love what I do right now, getting to coach, teach a little bit, but so don't take it the wrong way. But man, doing this for a living would be a lot of fun right now. It is a big side job for me, and it's getting a little bigger every time, but we will make sure anything huge happens in the offseason, Texas Rangers related, we'll be here to cover it. Keep rolling. No way we trade Corey Wright. Brian, let's talk about this. The Corey Seager news coming out yesterday. I know y'all saw that Corey Seager firestorm on X. One of the Yankees' big accounts got a hold of a little clip that Evan Grant had thrown out there. All Evan Grant did, by the way, Evan Grant, Dallas Morning News, Texas Rangers beat writer, great follow, like Evan a lot. Essentially, Evan mused. He just threw out there, are the Rangers going to have to do something drastic and get rid of some of their big contracts? Might they think about trading Marcus Semien? Maybe Corey Seager? Like, he kind of just casually threw out some possibilities. And I think Evan has been on the record basically saying it is an extreme long shot that they deal Corey Seager. And I came back with, if you're going to deal Corey Seager, you might as well gut the entire team. There's no reason to keep Marcus Semien. There's no reason to keep deGrom. There's no reason to keep Nathan Eovaldi. If you are going to sell Corey Seager and trade him to the highest bidder, you might as well gut every vet and just let the youth take over. I don't think they're going to trade Corey Seager. I think it is an incredible long shot. If you did trade Corey Seager, they got to trade everybody else. Just go into full rebuild mode. And so that is what's at stake. I think the chances that they trade Corey Seager are non-zero, but probably less than 1%. Like Dumb and Dumber, you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, they want to trade you something crazy for Corey Seager. Sure, you listen. He's not untouchable. But if you're going to trade Corey, you may as well get everybody else on the trade block. Seriously. I wish we would have re-signed Kelly after what we gave up. Cripple King, they might. I mean, I'm doubtful that they re-signed Merrill Kelly, but I did say on record, I made a reel about it, I made a TikTok about it right after they acquired him. The trade is a failure if they don't re-sign him or if they don't win a World Series. And they didn't win a World Series, so there goes that. But I said, if they can re-sign him on a team-friendly deal, and look, team-friendly, I know that's subjective. How about this? If they can re-sign him on a deal that's fair, market value, man, I'm not going to be crazy upset, but I got to be real with y'all. Merrill Kelly's going to be, I think, 37 or 38 in this offseason. I'm not trying to sign him on a 4 or 5 year contract. If we can get Merrill Kelly on a 2-year deal, maybe like a mutual 3rd-year option, okay. But I don't want to overpay for Merrill Kelly, and I surely don't want to give him a 4-year deal. Personally, I think he's going to go back to the Diamondbacks. We'll see what happens. Gutting the team is the correct call, my dude. Look, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but I do think the Rangers are going to try to compete this year. Ultra, it's good to see you as always, man, but I do feel like they're going to try to compete and be competitive. Whether you think that's the right call or not, we can debate it. I do think that this is kind of the last year, if you will, for the Rangers to really go out and get one. I don't think this window is huge right now, unless you just get a monster breakout from some key players. If you get a monster breakout from Evan Carter, from Wyatt Langford, from Josh Young, if those 3 guys can pop, maybe we're saying something different. But if you can't get breakout seasons from some of the young players that, and look, Wyatt Langford didn't struggle per se last year, but I still think the ceiling can be raised a little bit on Wyatt and Evan Carter and all these guys. Unless you get those guys breaking out, the window is closing. The window's closing. You got Corey Seager aging, Marcus Semien aging, Jacob deGrom aging, Nathan Eovaldi aging. You've got a number of guys that are getting older, and you're not going to necessarily have a great shot 2 or 3 years down the road with those same players. I think this year, if you're going to try to be competitive, you almost got to go all out. And just, looking at the news, Rangers shrinking the payroll, shrinking the budget, doesn't really align very well, does it? Yeah, we've got Corey Seager, Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, all getting older each year, but, let's shrink budget down a little bit more. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Braves fans were wanting Sean Murphy and prospects for Seager. I don't think I'm doing that deal. We were throwing around in the Discord, by the way, if you become a subscriber on TikTok or on YouTube, it's a $2.99 a month subscription, really, really low key. Definitely an optional piece, but if you want to support the channel on a greater level, that's there for you. On the Discord, we were talking about Corey Seager trades. Like, if they wanted to give me Garrett Cole, like, let's talk Yankees, because Yankees was the big one that broke it open. If you want to trade me Garrett Cole and a bunch of top prospects for Corey Seager, I'm listening. I don't think he's going anywhere, to be fair. Bursting Goals, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the comment. I don't think he's going anywhere. But if you're going to give me Garrett Cole and a bunch of top prospects, if you're the Yankees, I'm listening. Am I going to do the deal? I got to see all the prospects. Like, there is a price. But I really don't want to see them trade my favorite Texas Rangers player. Please, Lord, no. I don't want to see it. Jack says, if they trade Seager, I'm done. Trade deGrom to the Angels. I don't want to see deGrom in division, Kevin. Cut Marcus Semien, Dan. They're not going to do it. How can the Rangers get younger? Trade some of the guys we're talking about, but preferably not in division. Preferably not in division, please. By the way, appreciate everybody that's followed the show. I see a number of different people have followed. Thank you. Means a lot. If you haven't followed yet, hit that follow button if you're on TikTok. Hit that join button or subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Let's keep rolling. I wish we could find a trade partner for Semien. He's been terrible offensively since 23. Semien is a guy that if you trade him, you are going to have to give up something better than what you're going to get back. So you're going to have to trade like Marcus Semien and take back a worse prospect, or you're going to have to trade Marcus Semien with a prospect for somebody lesser just to eat the salary. I mean, just to eat that contract. Hey, Pat, what's good, baby? Thank you, man. Thanks for renewing that membership, brother. You know I love you. Thank you. Hey, Marcus Semien trade is a possibility, y'all, but I think that they're probably going to hold on to Semien as well. I kind of see this year as kind of a last dance year. I know some of y'all are NBA fans as well. I kind of see this year as a bit of a last dance year. I think Corey Seager, Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, I know that they're all under contract beyond this year, but I kind of think if this year goes badly, you really strongly consider blowing it up. I feel like this is kind of a make or break year. Like if it doesn't go well, 2027, it's a strike year. I think that the players will strike. I don't think they're going to come to an agreement. I think we will probably not start baseball on time in 2027. We're not talking in the spring. We're talking 2 springs from right now. Spring of 27, I see baseball being a bit delayed. I think if you don't make it happen in 26, you think about a fire sale. You think about really getting rid of some of these contracts. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. If you're not going to get big seasons from guys like Carter, Young, even Wyatt Langford taking another step, I just have my doubts, y'all. I have my doubts. We'll see what happens. We keep going. Sorry about the glitch there. Little lag on the TikTok feed. My bad on that. Semien for Stanton works. It's going to be something like that. I feel like you're going to have to probably take on somebody else's bad contract, but maybe at a little bit of a lesser level. We'll see. Eric, what's good, my guy? Thanks for hanging out. Seager is gone this year if we don't make postseason. I do think there are going to be some big names on the trade block next offseason if we don't have a good year this year. Right? If they don't make the postseason again this year, you really got to think about blowing it up. That is true. We might have to lean into college baseball a little bit more here at Right On Rangers in 2027 if the players go on strike. We might have to do that. Langford, to me, Antonio brings up a good point. Extending Wyatt Langford, I think that is something they should try to do. If Wyatt Langford's agent is not being completely overpay mode, over ask mode, you try, I think, at least to see if he'll be willing to do any kind of extension. That'd be great. CY looks and sounds desperate. He knows his time is short. Look, the fire CY, I think, is going to get loud if we don't make the playoffs this year. You're going to see a lot of people turning on Chris Young. I don't think there's going to be a lot of Chris Young apologists if the Rangers miss the playoffs for a 3rd straight year. I am a little bit skeptical myself of what CY is going to cook up this offseason. I think 2 years missing the playoffs after winning the World Series is not great. I don't know how CY could not be on the hot seat after missing 2 years in a row, signing Jock Peterson, trading for Merrill Kelly at the deadline. How could you not be on the hot seat? How could you not? We keep going. Is Walcott making his debut this season? Walcott will make the debut this season if the Rangers are bad. If the Rangers are good, I don't see it. 8 years, $140 million. You could at least get the ARB years, which I think he has 3 ARB years plus 1. So I think Langford is ARB 1 in 27. you could at least do a 4-year deal and then extend him beyond that. So at least get him through the ARB years and then more beyond that, maybe 3 or 4. So this for me is not unreasonable. Antonio, I kind of wonder if they want that year to start with a double digit, start with the 1, right? I'm wondering if Langford's wanting like a 10-year deal, which means 6 additional years beyond arbitration. We'll see. I gave up too much to not bring Kelly back. I think if you bring Kelly back, Pat, it's got to be fair and it's got to be short term. And I don't know if Kelly is going to want to do that. I feel like Kelly's probably going back to Arizona. But I'm with you. I said for a long time, if you don't re-sign Merrill Kelly, if you don't win the World Series, that trade is a bit of a failure. Score prediction for Cowboys-Eagles. I'm going to go 31-26. Cowboys over the Eagles. I know, weird score, but 31-26. Cowboys beat the Eagles. Dak 21-2 in his last 23 home games against NFC East opponents. And the last time was 2017, where he lost at home to an NFC East opponent. And Dak we trust. Langford MLB comp is Justin Upton, and I love that. I would like to have a little better comp than that. No shade to Justin Upton, Ethan, but what happened to Baby Trout? What happened to Baby Trout? I'm just saying. 31-26 W prediction. Jace, I sure hope it comes true. I will be very sad. I better bet 31-26. I better put a little money on that. If they win 31-26 and I have no money on that, I am going to be upset. I wonder how much that would pay out on an odds basis. 31-26 Cowboys win. Dak gonna trip getting out of the tub and be out for the season. Oh, my Lord. We need the comedic relief. Look, Cowboys, you kind of feel like they got to win this game if they want to have a chance at the playoffs. Are you really going to go 4-6-1 in your first 11 games and make the playoffs? I don't know. I guess it could happen, but I don't know. We'll see. Same score from week 1, but Cowboys win it this time. That's what Antonio says. I wouldn't mind that. That's a pretty good prediction. What was it? Was it 24-20? Was it 24-20 week 1? I have to go look that up. All right. TikTok. Luis, appreciate the gift, man. Thank you so much. Caratini in a rise. Hey, I like that. Appreciate the comment, my guy. Thank you so much. I think Caratini in a rise would be solid. Caratini, I think 6 to 8 million is probably what he's going to cost. A rise, maybe you can get somewhere in the 12 to $15 million range. I'm a fan of that. I like that move. I would be appreciative of that. Antonio, I know you don't want to hear it, brother. I know you do not want to hear it at all, but I appreciate that. All right, let's keep going. Closing pitcher, Orlando, I don't think we're going to go out and get a big-name closer. Now, I think we need to. I would love to see the Rangers get a bona fide closer. I just have a feeling they're going to piecemeal it together. They are going to try and see if they can get some up-and-coming, under-the-radar guy. Maybe they roll with Sean Armstrong again. Maybe they bring him back. I think the Rangers are going to piecemeal the closer spot together again. And I know that's not what y'all want to hear, but I just don't see them going out and getting Edwin Diaz. I really don't. I really don't. All right. Hey, let's talk about, and I'm going to keep taking your comments and questions, but I looked up Adolis Garcia, top 10 games. Let's talk about some of these. Let's see if y'all remember some of these Adolis Garcia big games. Adolis Garcia, April 22nd, 3 homer, 16 total bases. He went 5 for 5 with 8 RBI and an 18-3 win against the Oakland A's at the time. Oh, goodness. ALCS Game 7, 4 for 5, 2 bombs, 5 RBI in the clincher. Game 6. 1 for 5, but he hit that top of the 9th grand slam. Who could forget World Series Game 1? Let's celebrate Dolly a little bit here. Share your favorite Adolis Garcia moment if you got one. I'd love to hear what you guys got. Favorite Adolis Garcia moment. Come on now. Give me a couple. May 22nd, 2021, back-to-back punishment, multi-homer game against the Astros with 5 RBI. This guy loved to crush Astros pitching. Like, I'm reading right now games from 2021 where he was crushing the Astros. All right, 2023 ALCS Game 5 as well. Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. July 2nd, 2025, 3 for 5 with 4 RBI and a 10-2 win against the Orioles. Drove in nearly half of Texas runs that day. There's more on here. Adolis Garcia was incredible. He was incredible at times. At 24-25, we know he fell off a little bit. But there are so many games that you look back fondly on with Adolis Garcia. He will always be a favorite for me as well. Always. And look, I know the last 2 years we've all, I think, been a little hard on Adolis with him not getting a contract, leaving the franchise. I think we can appreciate now. I think we can turn some of that disappointment to appreciation. I know I'm trying to. Adolis Garcia, franchise legend, always going to be. Gonna miss chirping at Dolly out in right field, not gonna lie. Antonio, you're awesome, man. Glove is definitely still elite. In fact, I think Adolis got robbed of a gold glove this year. I think he probably should have won a gold glove. Maybe the injury time hurt him a little bit, but I feel like he should have won a gold glove. What's up with the Rangers wanting to trade Corey? That's not a real thing. That's slow offseason, different fan accounts cooking up drama. Corey Seager's not going anywhere. If we trading for Ohtani, you mean back in 2023 at the 2023 deadline? I mean, look, we didn't need to trade for him. I often have wondered, what if the Rangers would have traded for Ohtani in 2023? Would it just have been that much more of a drubbing on their way to a World Series? Clearly, I was a fan of trading for Ohtani back when we could have. I know some of y'all didn't want to, but that would have been nice. Rangers didn't need him, but that sure would have been nice. Keep going. Yeah, David, what's good, man? Appreciate seeing you, man. Thanks for the support of the channel, as always. K-Dub, what's good, brother? Good to see you. Hey, congrats on Josh Naylor. That's a great signing for y'all. Look, clearly Mariners, rivals, but it seems like Naylor loves the city, and that feels like a great signing. Like I told you guys, the Mariners are going to be good for the next several years. I mean, these are things I don't like to come to terms with, but the Mariners are young. They've got some great players. That's why I see why, dude. I mean, what bigger kick in the butt do you need, man? Come on. We've got teams in the West around us that are going to be contenders for several years on. We have got to figure it out. Jack, exactly. Exactly. Josh and Juan will always be my two-time all-Ranger outfielders, but I think Adolis is a smart third. Hey, there you go. Juan gone, Josh Hamilton, Adolis Garcia. That's a pretty good outfield. It's a pretty good outfield. Dolly is definitely going to the Mariners. Please, no. Please, no. Please go to the NL, Adolis. If you're listening, Dolly, if you're watching right now, please go to the National League. Do not torment us in the AL. Because you know that's going to happen. That's such a Rangers thing. Adolis is going to sign with an AL team and absolutely torch us. Just because. It's how it always goes. It's how it always goes, guys. Give me Leody Taveras in center field forever instead. Leody is in your all-time outfield, Antonio. Good old Leody, man. We give Leody a hard time here on the show. I mean, look, Leody, 2023 World Series champion. Hell of a catch out there against Yordan Alvarez in the ALCS. Homer off Justin Verlander. We'll give Leody some love. But we needed that laugh at the end of a day like this, Antonio. We needed that, brother. We bought a World Series in 23, except we're rebuilding the next 3 years. Brody, that's what we were kind of throwing out there. If the Rangers are not making the playoffs this year, I do think they go full-on rebuild. Vanessa, what's good? Thanks for the comment. Good to see you. Do I think that they'll offer Josh Smith a contract? I mean, look, they're going to go through arbitration with Josh Smith. Are they going to offer him a long-term contract? I don't think so. I think they'll probably ride out the ARB years with Josh Smith. I don't think there's any reason to extend Josh Smith right now. I know, it feels good, and it makes you feel a little bit better about the long term when you extend a player, but a guy like Josh Smith is not going to be a tough one in arbitration. Like Josh and the production, it's good, but the ARB years are not going to get you into trouble with a guy like Josh Smith. Now, is he going to get raises incrementally like Jonah Heim and Adolis Garcia did? Yes. But I don't think that Josh Smith is going to cost you anything crazy if you want to keep him around, even in arbitration. Do I think the ARB streak is done? Of course, Pat is referring to the Rangers streak going back to, is it early 2000s? Or is it late 90s? What is the ARB streak? I knew this at one point. I would say the Rangers probably keep it going. I don't think that they are going to have any highly contested arbitration hearings. Maybe, but I kind of doubt it. Look, here's the bottom line, if we're just being real. Who had like an outstanding year that would really be trying to bite off more than they could chew in an arbitration hearing? Like, there's really no Ranger on the team that killed it this year that is going to arbitration that you're really super worried about. I mean, I know that sounds like shade, but if you have a guy that has a career year and then they happen to hit arbitration, ARB1, ARB2, ARB3, you're sweating it a little bit. I don't think there's a ton of players that have a bunch of legs to stand on in arbitration, why they should be getting a lot more. I think there's going to be a lot of guys that are willing to take what they can get in arbitration because a lot of them are going to get natural raises anyways. 2000 was the year. There you go. Leote's a good dude. Caden, he's a good dude. I like Leote, the guy. I mean, look, I know that it's not like he's all over the TV. He wasn't like a super notable, famous, if you will, player when he played for the Rangers or the Mariners for that matter. But that's cool that you got a chance to meet him when he was in Tacoma. That's awesome. Keep rolling. 50 bomb Pete in a Rangers jersey would cure everything, though. Jacob, I'd be a fan. I would be a fan. David, I like the move too, but I don't think we're going to get Pete Alonso. I'd love to see us get JT Realmuto. Would love that. Texas Pete, that would be awesome. Just like, Whataburger got on board with Jake Berger, you got to get on board Texas Pete. If that happens, be incredible. Who we putting in right now? Aaron, what's good? I kind of wonder if they give one of the young guys a shot. Like, do you give Alejandro Osuna a chance to cook out there in right field? Like, really give him a runway? But on the other hand, I think there is a possibility they sign somebody to play out there more on an everyday basis. But right now, you've got Osuna. I am a fan of letting Osuna have a shot. And then, yes, Duran would be the other guy. I think Duran could be a right field arm. We know that Duran has a cannon, and he had a pretty good year last year. I would like to see Osuna be the guy against righties and Duran the guy against lefties. And this is assuming that you're not going to sign anybody else, right? That's the assumption. If you don't go out and sign or trade for a right fielder, I think you've got to give it to Alejandro Osuna and you've got to give it to Ezekiel Duran. I mean, look, if they go out and get Cody Bellinger's, Sabrina, I would be over the moon. I would love Belly in a Rangers uniform. Reunite with Corey Seager. That would be phenomenal. But I don't know that it happens. If you go get Bellinger, I would more than be okay with him out there patrolling right field. But if you're not going to go trade for somebody, if you're not going to go sign a right fielder, you have got to, I think, go with the tandem of Osuna and Duran, depending on the starting pitcher. Kyle Tucker, because the in-laws would hate that. That's right. Pat's in-laws are big Astros fans. Oh, man. That's rough. My in-laws, God bless them. I love my in-laws. They are sports fans for sure, but not obnoxious in any way, shape, or form. To have in-laws that are Astros fans and obnoxious Astros fans, Pat, you're doing the Lord's work right now, brother. Plain and simple. Osuna has been training. Has he really? Has he really? Wow. With Bregman? Cool. What's good, Locked? What's good, my guy? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. We will see what happens, man. I hope that we can be talking about some different news down the road here in this offseason. Rangers signing somebody big, making a big trade. I would love to see that happen. Would love it. Abimelec Ortiz in right field. Everything that I've read about Ortiz, bat plus fielding, leaves something to be desired. I don't know that I want to throw Abimelec Ortiz out there in right field. Now, would I be willing to give him a shot at first base? DH? Yes. I don't think you want to throw Abimelec Ortiz out in right field, based on what I've heard. Any interest in Real Muto for teams in general? Haven't heard a ton on JT. Rick, appreciate it. Haven't heard a ton on JT. But with that, I will say JT should be at the top of the list. You should be going out to try and get JT Real Muto if you can. Absolutely. Jeffers, I think, could be another option. Locked. I think you're right on that. Could be another option. Jack, I have no clue why you would want to do a Nate Lowe reunion beyond vibes. I really don't see any reason to do that. You've already got guys that can play first base. The only reason I think you sign a first baseman is if you can go get Polar Bear. You can go get Pete Alonso. I don't see any other reason to go sign a first baseman. Rangers have plenty of guys that can play first base. You've got Josh Smith. You've got Ezekiel Duran. You've got Jock Peterson. You've got Abimelec Ortiz. You've got Jake Berger. You've got 5 first baseman potentials. I don't think there's any possibility they re-sign Nate Lowe. I think that would be kind of a weird signing, honestly. I mean, look, good clubhouse guy, Jack, yes. Nothing wrong with that, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Hellman, I mean, look, we've got him under contract. I think Hellman, is he ARB1 this year? I'll look up Hellman contract on Spotrac and see. I don't know if he's even ARB1 this year. Let's see. Mike Hellman, dude, he's pre-ARB. Mike Hellman is pre-ARB until 2028. So Hellman, very controllable. And this is a very controllable contract. I don't know that he has a place. We'll see. But very controllable contract. Keep rolling. How did I react to the Seager scare from yesterday? I mean, just ridiculousness, right? I didn't really give it too much credence. I didn't believe that Seager was ever an option. And when they attributed, when the Yankees account, the big Yankees account that posted it, when they attributed it to Evan Grant, I read Evan Grant every single day. He posts an article. I mean, look, it's a part of my job, right? I have to read what the beat writers put out there. I've never heard Evan say anything beyond, would they consider? And that's not a source. That's not something to quote. That's Evan musing, and he said as much. He said, yeah, I just kind of threw it out there as a would they consider it. There's really nothing behind it. And look, we all do that too. There's nothing wrong with what Evan did. So don't take this the wrong way. I'm not getting on Evan. What I'm saying is this is what we do in the offseason. You throw out, would they ever consider trading Corey Seager? Would they ever consider getting rid of a guy like Marcus Semien? You throw all these things out in the offseason. It's what you do. But the Yankees account, taking that and running with it, man, that is clout chasing at its finest. Is it not? It's clout chasing at its finest, honestly. What are the odds that we trade for Adley? I don't know. I don't think they're going to go trade for Adley. I really don't. What about the Japan dude, Murakami? Murakami would be great. I would love to go out and get Murakami. I'm not so sure it's going to happen. I think that he's probably going to go sign with the Dodgers or some other big West Coast team. But I think it's going to be for anybody's, I would say, to anybody's benefit. I think Murakami's going to be a good player in the league. Seager for the Rockies' top 20 prospects. You got to get something good for Seager. You absolutely do. Yankees fans were offering up Volpe and Wells for Seager. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, I would not be a big fan of Volpe. Yeah, Murakami is who we're talking about. Murakami would be great. I mean, that's probably a 40 home run potential guy, at least 30. He's got a lot of power. We saw it in the World Baseball Classic. That'd be awesome. Rick, I do think you're right. I think Murakami's probably going to the Dodgers. I'm mentally preparing for Murakami to the Dodgers, by the way. Mentally preparing for it. I think you should too. And if somehow, by the grace of God, we get Murakami on the Texas Rangers, I'll be in heaven. I will be in heaven. But I'm fully expecting Murakami to the Dodgers notification from Jeff Passan coming across my screen. Mimi, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Ooh, what are we at? The hour mark here? It's been a good show so far. I mean, look, yes, I'm with Pat. I think we got a shot at Murakami. We do have a history with Japanese, Korean players and good experiences. So I think that the Rangers have a chance. Remember, the Rangers were in on Ohtani before he signed with the Angels way back when. So I think that the Rangers have a shot. Clearly, it's been a little bit of time since. And look, the Rangers were one of the finalists. I mean, look, depends on how final you want to move it in. But, I mean, they were kind of one of the finalists for Roki Sasaki. I got to think that they are going to at least be curious and putting out some feelers on Murakami. I do think if you get Murakami, Josh Young is probably on the move. I don't think you get Murakami and keep Josh Young. So, if you like Josh Young, a Murakami signing probably isn't good for keeping Jungle Cat around. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, there is. I forget who the other one is. I know he doesn't have quite as much notoriety, the other Japanese player, Locke, but I think Murakami would be awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Jungle Cat has played one of his last games as a Texas Ranger if Murakami gets signed. I know the Rangers want to cut payroll, but I don't see them getting a lot for Semien. I don't think so either, but I think with Semien, you're just looking to get out of the contract. So you're going to have to send Semien and maybe a prospect, and then you're going to get something much less in return. That's kind of how it's going to go. Noel, get us Cody Bellinger at first base. Appreciate the comment. I'd love Cody Bellinger. Doesn't Murakami really struggle with the fastball velo? I've heard different things, honestly, about Murakami. I've heard different things. I have heard that, but I don't know how justified it is. Look, I got to be real. I need to do my deep research on Murakami and really see what's up. But I will say this. It feels like guys that get hyped up as much as a Murakami or a Yamamoto, Ohtani, even Sasaki, man. Sasaki had a rough start with the Dodgers this year, but he came in the playoffs and had some clutch outings. I think he's going to get better and better. A lot of these guys that have been really hyped up of late coming over from Japan have worked out pretty well. And so I feel pretty good about Murakami coming over to MLB and at least being an above average player. Is he going to be elite? Who knows? Is he going to be above average? I think that's a pretty good bet. Let's keep rolling. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. See if I missed anything. Not sure Carter can make it through the season without back problems. James, what's good? Looks like might be ongoing. I hope Evan Carter gets over the hump. I hope he does with the injuries this year. We know that Evan Carter has potential to be something great, but bro is early 20s with back problems. That's not a good combo. That is not a good combo. We'll see. We'll see if he can really get right. And hopefully he'll have an opportunity to really play 162 games this year. That would be the plan. I think that they need to give him an opportunity. And they hopefully will be able to make it through a big enough sample size to where they can really make a decision on him too, right? That would be my hope. Is Higgy going to be the guy? I think that Higgy will probably continue to be in either the same role or maybe a slightly decreased role. I don't see Higgy becoming the primary guy. I really don't. I think Higgy will be either a halftime guy or maybe a third-time guy. I don't think he's going to be a guy that takes over and plays 2/3 of the season. I think they probably go with somebody else. I'd love to get JT Realmuto. Might be a little bit of a long shot, but we'll see what happens. I definitely do not want to see them just ride with Higgy. I like Higgy. I think he had some nice moments this year. I do not want to see them ride with Higgy as the number one option. We'll keep rolling. Prospect Times, what's good? Appreciate you, man, if you're still hanging out. No hate for the Rangers, but I think the Yanks should go after Heim and Garcia. Take them. They're there. And you know what? It's not going to shock me if those guys get a change of scenery and do well. But we will have to watch them. We'll definitely be watching them. We'll be cheering for them as long as they're not doing it against the Rangers. As long as they're not doing it against Texas, I'm happy for those guys to go and have success. Cody Freeman over Simeon to start the season. Not going to happen. But I think Cody Freeman needs to get more and more reps. I love Cody Freeman. Love what he brings to our team. Love the tenacity up at the plate, the ABs, their quality. He can take walks. He puts the ball in play, doesn't strike out a ton. He's good with the glove. He can play multiple positions. I'd love to see Cody Freeman get more involved. And no, I'm not just saying this because Cody Freeman drops by the show sometimes and is a fan of Ride on Rangers. I'm not just saying that. Cody Freeman's awesome. Love him, but I don't think he starts over Marcus Simeon. I think he'll get some opportunities to show what he's got. I think he will get some spot starts here and there. But as currently constructed right now, unless they want to give Cody an opportunity out in the outfield, which maybe Cody did play some outfield. If you want Cody Freeman to be in the mix more, that might be the place where you start, because right now in the infield, Josh Young, Corey Seager, Marcus Simeon, Jake Berger. I mean, Cody does not have a super clear path in the infield. Maybe in the outfield. We'll have to see. You might be right on this, Pat. You might be right on this. Man crush. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no. Love Cody Freeman, baby. Let Freeman play wherever he wants. Dude is at least consistent at the plate. Remember when Cody Freeman was like the emergency catcher? Wasn't he like the emergency catcher for one of our games because Heim was out or Higgy was out? Look, I'm a fan of more Cody Freeman. That's for sure. Do I think Seager gets traded? No. Frank, Cal Raleigh's still on the Mariners, baby. It would not be a Ride on Rangers show without a Cal Raleigh comp, so I appreciate you, brother. Adolis wouldn't survive in New York. He needs to go to Colorado or Pittsburgh. It's hard in New York, man. And look, I don't know if New York is the best place to go to resurrect your career, so you may have a point there. You may have a point. I appreciate all the comments. I think Adolis, he might want to go somewhere a little more low-key. He may want to do that. He caught Rocker in the Arizona Fall League a couple years ago. I think I remember reading this. JV. We'll see, man. I really think that Cody Freeman is a versatile player. I don't think he's going to be doing a lot of catching for us, but to our point here on the show, Cody is a guy that I think you got to find a way to get involved. I don't know if it's going to be a catcher, but if it's outfield, it's outfield. Spot starting, I love the ABs we got from Cody down the stretch. Is Cody Freeman the best utility player on the team? We have a very small sample size, Matt. I think there's an argument to be made, yes. I will say this. Josh Smith, Cody Freeman, I like the ABs that I get better from Cody Freeman than Josh Smith. I like the at-bats. You're going to get a good at-bat with Cody Freeman. You're not getting a terrible at-bat with Josh. Don't get me wrong. But I think you are getting a more quality at-bat with Cody Freeman. I do. I think that the numbers would probably back that up. I'd have to do a deep dive, but I think that Cody Freeman gives you a more consistent quality at bat. Keep going. take a quick peek at Jonah's Baseball Savant page. I have, and I'll spare you the time. There is a lot of blue. There's a lot of blue. Rumblings about Marte and Skubal to Seattle. That would make Caden happy and Eric happy if you guys are still hanging out. What would you have to give up to get Skubal? That's what I want to know. What would you have to give up to get Skubal? Hey, Miguel, go Cowboys. I was at the game Monday night, man. 1-0 this year when I go to a Cowboys game. Look, probably my only Cowboys game that I'll be going to, save some crazy surprise that somebody else has for me. My brother-in-law totally surprised me with tickets about a month ago. Like, dude, we're going to be at Monday Night Football. I'm like, what? Where? Raiders, Cowboys. Dude got me like awesome seats. It was a phenomenal time, man. Monday Night Football, Cowboys, Raiders. Cowboys win 33-16. It was a top-tier experience for me getting to go to that game. I'm not even lying, not being prisoner of the moment. We were like a few rows back from the field. It was an awesome experience. One of the best. Keep going. Cowboys are going to go on a Super Bowl run. If somehow we sneak in, I'm knocking on wood right now, Locked. I am knocking on wood right now. I would love to see that. I'm trying to keep my expectations low. I think the Cowboys have got some good things going. You've got a great offense. You got Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. Overshown is back in the mix. You got some things trending positively on defense. Man, I'd love to see it. Would love to see it. Walcott, Acosta, Seager, 5 more prospects, and maybe CY firstborn for Skubal. This is one of the best comments of the night right here. You're on fire, man. You were on fire. This is great. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Skubal, I think, is probably going to be in Detroit again this year. I wonder if they let him walk for nothing. I mean, I think they should trade him. If you're not going to re-sign him and give the man what he wants, I think you got to trade Skubal right now. Right now. But we'll see what the Tigers do. We unfortunately don't have the final say in these things. I'd love to be a front office GM. I don't know how good I'd be at it. I would love to be a GM in a front office. I miss El Bombi and Jonah already. I am going to definitely look back and appreciate both those players a lot. I do think for the purposes of being good in 2026, it's a good thing to move on. But I am going to look back fondly on those guys. We'll always reminisce about 2023. Jonah Heim, Gold Glove, All-Star starter, Adolis Garcia, ALCS MVP, World Series walk-off homer. We're always going to reminisce fondly of these players. I hope we forget 24 and 25 when it comes to those two guys, and we just remember the good times of 23. I think that's got to be the plan. Got to be the plan. JJ, good to see you, by the way. To champs in 23, to rebuild in 26. Let me keep going. Sorry, I don't know. I gotta mess with my filter again, man. For whatever reason, when I do my updates, sometimes it starts filtering comments that aren't even like controversial. I don't even get it. Jesse, what's good, man? Yeah, I think a rebuild in 27 is probably more likely. If the Rangers don't make the postseason in 27, I see that being a lot more likely. Do I think Jock and Berger are next? No, I think that the Cowboys. I saw your username and got a little mixed up. I think that the Rangers are going to see how this year plays out. I don't see them punting this season. I do think if it starts getting ugly early, or if they miss the playoffs again for the 3rd year in a row, I do think they're probably going to blow it up. I do think that happens. All right, let's do final comments, and we're going to get out of here. Go enjoy the rest of the Friday night here. The defense, Matt, I'm with you on El Bombi. Yeah, he was outstanding. The arm, rocket arm, great defense. The big homers, I'm going to miss that. I do hope the Rangers in his place can get a hitter that's a little more consistent. I do think that is going to be a focus this year. Guys that can give you more consistent quality at bats, can put the ball in play. Blake, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. When healthy, we'll see what happens with Seager. If you can get Seager 125, 130 plus games, I think that is going to be a win. I don't think Corey is a 150 guy any longer. I think with Corey, you're hoping for 130, and you're thrilled to get 140 plus, but I do not think Corey Seager is a guy that you're going to be able to count on for 150 plus. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. We try. You guys honestly help keep the show fresh, so I want to say thank you to all you guys for the comments. I really, really appreciate it, and you guys have been great. It's fun being able to talk ball even on November 21st in the middle of football season and NBA and hockey and everything. We're here every Wednesday, by the way. Every Wednesday we're talking ball. We do our off-season show. But today with the non-tender deadline, decided to go live. So any big day, we're going to be live, by the way, just so you guys know. Anytime the Rangers make a big trade or a big free agent acquisition, I hope we're going live quite often. I'm going to speak that into existence right now. Locked free agency's already started, man. That's my biggest complaint. Free agency is actually live right now. But we just have so few teams and players getting stuff done. Seriously. Matt, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Those little comments, man, they keep me going. I appreciate it. Like I said, you guys are a big part of that. You support the show. You comment. You make this better and better as well. So thank you to you guys. Sabrina, could Josh Young be a big homer guy next year? Josh Young, I think, could absolutely be a 25-90 guy. 25 bombs, 90 RBI. He has the potential. You just, though, got to be a little concerned with the youngster, with the Jungle Cat. I mean, every year since 23, he's dipped with OPS. The numbers have gone down. I think this is a make or break year for Josh Young, and I love Josh Young, but I think this has got to be the year he pops. I think you've got to get Josh Young 25 bombs, 85, 90 RBI. He's got to show you that. Anything else, I think he is punching below the waist. He is not in his weight class. He's got to be a 25, 85, a 25, 90 guy in 2026. I think you've got to see it. Otherwise, I think you have to consider moving on. As much as we love Josh Young. Big Josh Young fan. Got the bobblehead over here somewhere. Y'all see that right there? Yeah, we got that. We got the Josh Young bobblehead. Texas guy, San Antonio born, Texas Tech. We love Josh Young. Look, it's got to be this year, though. I think he has got to find a way to kick it in gear and show you what he showed you in 2023. I hope they bring back Armstrong. That would be huge. I think Armstrong should probably be the closer going into the season. We'll see. El Tendi. Who came up with that, Ethan? Who came up with that? El Bombi to El Tendi. Wow. Hey, appreciate all you guys. Look, if you want to support the show in a little bit of an extra way, I already talked about a $2.99 a month subscription I do on TikTok and on YouTube. Gets you exclusive access to a Right on Rangers Discord, which has been amazing over the past 4 or 5 months that we've had it. We've got about 30 plus people or so in the chat. Look, YouTube, I dropped the link in the chat for you. I think there's a join button somewhere on your screen or somewhere on my channel that you can go to as well. If you become a member, we'll get you right into that Discord after the show is over. Would love to have your voice in that community. Really the only thing I've monetized on the show. So if you want to support the show in a little bit of an extra way, consider it. On TikTok, I think there's a subscribe button somewhere around there. Anyways, consider it. But hey, just hanging out and commenting, plenty of support, man. Appreciate that a lot. Just an additional way that you can give back to the show if you feel so inclined. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Hopefully we will see you back here over the weekend. We'll be doing some college football tomorrow after the Texas-Arkansas game. We will also be live after the Cowboys game on Sunday, and then we will do another baseball show, another Rangers show on Wednesday, off-season mode. So 3 chances here in the next 5-6 days to become a part of the live, continue to be a part of this Rangers community, Right on Rangers community. Appreciate all you guys so much. Hope you have a great weekend, whatever it is that you're up to. I'm going to go eat some dinner here, enjoy some time with the fam, watch some Dallas Mavericks basketball, and then we'll enjoy some football this weekend. That is the plan. All right, y'all. You have a good one. Richard, I'm with you. Let's go Mavs. Cooper Flag back in action. We'll still be doing Mavs lives. Look, it's been a little bit of a rough season to start, but I think when Kyrie and when AD come back, we will definitely go live. We'll start going live for some Mavs games eventually. But for now, tomorrow, Sunday, college football, NFL, and then we'll be back on Wednesday for Rangers. That's the plan. We'll see y'all. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.